white working class is no better. The GOP sells out the workers in this country. But guess what? At the same time, you would have the white working class trade their homeland for handouts. This land is our land! 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 This land is our land!
Get out!
Hey, excuse me.
You guys!
Let's take a moment here. What just happened? Let's process here just for a few seconds. I know this is the first time I've seen that.
There was this remarkable moment of bravery where people in the crowd just started standing up and pushing back, and people of all ages and backgrounds started booing, and after about 5 minutes they left. These issues weren't just invented yesterday or even with the election of President Trump. (1915 to 1918). That's the last time that white men have had a 3-year drop in lifespan the way they're seeing it now. The reason we're seeing shortened lifespans is in part about addiction and part about economics, but it's also about particular health policies. It's almost like an epidemic, or what economists have called deaths of despair. But the irony here is that people are voting for these policies that are shortening their own lifespans. For example, in Tennessee, I studied what happened when the state blocked really implementation of the Affordable Care Act or expansion of any kind of government healthcare safety net. And what I found was that that act alone ended up costing every white person in the state on the aggregate about 2 to 3 weeks of their life. When I looked at the liberalization of gun laws in the state of Missouri, there were over 12,000 lost life years just in the first 5 years that those policies ended up passing. In the state of Kansas, they basically did these massive tax cuts that ended up enriching people at the very top of the economic system, but were terrible for working class people. When I talked to everyday people, really, I found a longing to solve some of these issues. In other words, people wanted better healthcare. They wanted safer communities. The problem was there were so many divisive messages. Policies were being coded as almost racial identities. The risk factor came because they elected politicians whose policies were based in these rhetorics of racial resentment. In other words, anti-immigrant, anti-government, pro-gun policies. And when those policies became what dictated the policies of particular states, everybody's health suffered regardless of whether they themselves were racist or not. The minute that working class conservative voters start realizing that these policies are killing them and asking for better policies from their leaders, that's the moment that things begin to change.